Okay, let's do this. So, I just felt like throwing up a video here. Gonna try and do these on a semi-regular basis every once in a while. I'm, been watching some videos. Different people talking about, life skills, what it takes to be successful. A while ago, let me just start out with this. The main point of putting this video out is, I was gonna say, if there was one thing that I would have gone back in time and told myself, to figure this out and apply this to my life before I figured it out, obviously, it would be understanding that nobody can make decisions for your life except you. You make decisions for you. Nobody else can make you do anything. Obviously, there's, they can put pressure on you. They can influence you. They can, maybe, try to force you to do things. But ultimately, everything you do in life is your decision. And if I'm being completely honest, I've realized this maybe just less than a decade ago, something like that, 10 years ago. And I still feel like I kind of suck at applying this principle to my life. Just being aware, understanding that I'm, trying to apply it, actually applying it. Really not nearly as good as I would like to be. My point being, I know that people have said if you can teach something, it stays with you better. This is, a principle they usually try to teach to like college students and stuff. They go to class and then they do their schoolwork and they study, they take their notes, yada yada, and then they go do something else and they forget everything that they just learned in class. So what they suggest is they say, hey, go to class, take your notes, grab a study buddy, leave class, sit down for even 5, 10, 15 minutes and run through everything with your study buddy and go, here's my notes. I'm just going to talk to you about what I wrote down. And just expressing this, these notes to other people gives you, I don't remember the exact percentage, but it was like way higher. It was like 85% more retention. So you would come out of class, spend 10, 15 minutes with your buddy, and you would retain 85% more of the information than you would retain otherwise. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So, essentially, that's what I'm trying to apply here, is just express to you things that I've learned. I'm starting from point A, as far as I can see. Like, the first main thing that I would have applied to my life much sooner than I have is that principle that I just said before I kind of went on this little anecdote thing. That understanding I can only make decisions for myself. And that affects my life in the sense that whenever I approach a situation, I can go, well, what am I going to do about it? Because I used to be at a point in my life where I was going, there was a lot of my teen years, let's say, where I didn't fully realize that I could actually do something about any given situation. I would just be, oh, well, this is a sucky situation, and I would just complain about it. And there's plenty of people who do that today. But what a lot of people don't realize is, A, complaining does not change the situation. It may influence somebody else to do something about it, but 90% of the time or more, it doesn't change a single thing. It just gets somebody else to complain, or complain that you're complaining. It just starts a whole cycle of complaining, and it's no fun for anybody, you or anybody else. So, if there's a sub-lesson to this video, it's don't complain. Complaining never accomplishes anything, except understUnderstanding that maybe there's a problem. So if you start complaining, you go, oh, what am I going to do about it? I'll throw something else in here, which is kind of related. I was listening to Danny Silk one time, and I love his lens on. He's a pastor at Redding, at Bethel Church in Redding, California, and he's written some pretty good books. I've read one of them a couple times, and some of his sermons are just phenomenal. He's got a 2-part sermon series, I think, on it's called Keys to Confrontation, and that was the first sermon, first teaching of his that I ever experienced, and I have to tell you, I listened to that thing on repeat for several days, no joke, and one of my favorite things that I pulled out from that was he has kind of a 2-question attack or application or inquiry. I'm not sure what the phrase is best applicable for the situation, but so if he's trying to get somebody to realize their potential and to get them to feel powerful about a situation, that they have the means and creativity and understanding and knowledge, that they have the capacity within themselves as a human being to do something about their situation in life. So his 2 questions would go, how's that going for you? So, because this person would go, hey, they'd probably complain. They'd go, oh, my life sucks. This is happening and this is happening. And he'd go, well, how's that working out for you? Or well, actually, he would use the other question first. He would say, what are you going to do about it? And the other person says, well, I can't do anything about it. Blah, 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 because so-and-so. So then Danny Silk says, well, how's that working out for you? And he's like, oh, it's not working out for me. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about it? And the guy's like, well, I don't know. This guy, he does that and this and that. And the guy's like, well, how's that working out for you? And he's like, well, it's not working out for me. And it's like, what are you going to do about it? I love how those 2 questions just keep coming back to point A and point B of this kind of cyclical complaining thing until you finally kind of figure out that what am I going to do about this? It's, rather than sidestepping the question and go, well, so-and-so over here, pointing the finger of blame at somebody else, when you yourself have the capacity to make a decision, to take a specific action to influence the situation. You may not always be able to directly control what's going on, but you can definitely influence. You can push things, and you can also draw boundaries for your own life. So if somebody's doing something that you don't want them to do, it is up to you to communicate that to them, and if they don't respect that, then you have the right to draw a boundary between you and them and go, well, I have to put so much space between you and me because what you're doing is damaging me. It's hurting me, and I need to maintain health, emotional health, physical health for myself, whatever the case may be. And you, that's all it is. You communicate, and if you, I've been in situations before, actually, plenty of situations. I've struggled with this on some degree. Just not being afraid to talk to people because I enjoy talking to people in general, but I never really was good at confrontation. You know, I didn't want, I don't like people being mad at me, you know, and I'm finally coming to, I think I've begun to pass the threshold of where I'm like, well, I don't care. People are going to be mad at me if they want to be mad at me. That's not I can't really control that. I can influence that, obviously. And I want to do as much as I can to be at peace with all men, all mankind. But that is not my main goal. My main goal is to work within my own life and respect myself as a human being and other people around me as much as possible. And if somebody else decides they're going to be upset at me for something, then I can't really do anything about it. If there's nothing I can do to change their decision to be angry at me, I can't be upset at myself for not being able to change them. That's not something within my, I just have to let that go, essentially, and focus on what's really important. Yeah. So I think that about wraps it up for my excerpt for the day. So you guys take care and use those questions. Those are awesome questions. Talk to you later.